There are stories about teachers who change students' lives through kindness. And then there are stories about teachers who change bullies through consequences. They say violence never solves anything, but that day, the new math teacher didn't start the fight. She simply finished it. Everyone in Oak Ridge High remembered the moment Alex Harper, the toughest bully in school, swung his fist at her to make her move. He thought she would fall back, but the next second, he was flying through the air, clutching his face, begging for a medic. What no one knew was that this quiet lady, who walked into the classroom in a cheap blazer and worn-out shoes, was not just a teacher. She carried scars no textbook could describe, marks of survival, discipline, and training that could turn the most arrogant bully into a warning lesson for generations. And that day, the whole school learned who they were dealing with. The first thing everyone noticed about Miss Elena Santos was how small she looked against the tall iron gates of Oak Ridge High. The students called it the arena, because every year someone new stepped in, only to be eaten alive by the bullies who ruled the corridors. Elena stood there with a leather satchel slung across her shoulder, her long hair braided neatly, and a soft smile that looked strangely confident. She was new but not naive. When the guard told her to watch herself because the students were rough on newbies, she only thanked him and walked in. The hallways were loud, students running, laughing, slamming lockers, everyone busy with their cliques and chaos. No one paid attention to her until they saw her walk past the trophy cabinet. There, leaning against it, was the reason teachers used to resign mid-year. Alex Harper, a senior, built like a linebacker, 6'1", shaved hair on the sides, scar above his eyebrow. His eyes tracked her like prey. The school rumor was that he got away with everything because his father was a wealthy donor. Last year he made a science teacher cry. The year before, he shoved a substitute down the stairs. He didn't attack out of anger. It was power. A game. "Move," he grunted when Elena walked toward the classroom entrance. She paused, not out of fear but out of politeness. "Excuse me?" He tapped the wall with his fist. "You're blocking the view. Move." She glanced behind her. There was nothing there. No decoration, no announcement, only a blank wall. He didn't need a reason. He wanted obedience. Her eyes softened. "Class starts in 5 minutes," she said, and stepped into the room. Every eyebrow in the hallway lifted. A few phones came out. A quiet hush spread. This lady had no idea what she'd just done. Her first period was a challenge. She introduced herself, spoke gently about mathematics and problem-solving, and wrote her name on the board. Some listened, some whispered, and others laughed. But what caught everyone off guard was that she never reacted to the disrespect. Every insult tossed her way during attendance seemed to bounce off her like raindrops on stone. But one glance at her hands would have explained everything. When she held the piece of chalk, you could see faint scars cutting across her knuckles, thin white lines that looked like they had healed a long time ago. She wasn't fragile, she was seasoned. During break, Alex walked into the classroom with 2 friends, Tyler and Mark. They didn't ask permission, they just barged in like they owned the space. "You didn't move," Alex said, throwing himself on the empty desk in front of her. Elena wiped the board quietly. "You'll need to pick a seat tomorrow if you're enrolled in this class." He lifted an eyebrow. "You giving orders now?" "No," she said, looking at him steadily. "I'm setting expectations." Laughter echoed behind him. Tyler leaned toward Alex. "She's cute. Think she's a real teacher." Alex lifted his arm and nudged one of the books off her desk. It hit the floor with a loud thud. "Pick that up," he said. She didn't. "Break eye contact. I don't bend for intimidation." The air froze. Students outside the door had gathered. They whispered, recorded, waited for the show. Everyone had seen teachers crumble here, yet she stood there calmly, like a woman who had seen worse things than teenage tantrums. Alex clenched his jaw. He didn't like being challenged. He hated it. "That was an order," he growled. "Then it was a poorly phrased one," she replied. The laugh from one girl in the second row was short and nervous. Alex turned. He hated ridicule more than anything, and he needed to reclaim his throne. He stepped forward, faster than most students could see. One punch, a direct swing at her jaw, fueled by ego and months of pent-up rage. He expected her to stumble, but she moved like lightning. Her body twisted just slightly, her left foot sliding an inch on the floor. His fist missed her face by a breath, and in a single motion so fluid it looked unreal, she launched a punch straight into his jaw. No hesitation, no shouting, No warnings. The crack echoed like a gunshot. Alex's body flew sideways, crashing into the row of desks. Phones dropped, gasps exploded. Tyler froze with his mouth wide open, sheer disbelief replacing his grin. Alex lay there, grabbing his cheek, eyes wide, as the pain clawed into him. "Less force than you used," Elena said softly, dusting chalk from her palm. The principal rushed in 30 seconds later, followed by teachers and a nurse, but the moment was already carved into the school's memory. The bully who ruled Oak Ridge had been defeated in one punch, and that wasn't even the scary part. The scary part was the calm in her eyes, as if she had done this 1,000 times before.